I shouldn't be having to make this video today, but I'm doing it because I think it might help some other people out there who drive Volkswagen, Skodas, Audis and all the rest of the group cars that have battery issues. Skoda, I'm not happy. This is the third battery my car is having replaced in 3 years ownership. It's a 2022 Skoda Octavia MK4 VRS. This is not on. Yesterday I couldn't start my car and it came up with a 12-volt battery failure. I tried to start it, it was just cranking and coughing its guts up, it would not go. Phoned a friend, he came out, it sounded like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Phoned a friend, he came out of his jump leads, jump started the car, I checked the charge voltage, it was only showing 12.2 volts. I was like, could be the alternator. Drove to my local specialist, he checked it all out and he had the same idea as I had. He's like, not too sure, he plugged all his laptop in, he said, could be the alternator, could be the battery, I would need the car in. It would take a month to get the car in because they're so busy. And as I went to drive away, it wouldn't start again, although his battery meter did say the battery was healthy. So to me, it's kind of pointing towards the battery meter. After plugging my onboard OBD11 device in, I checked the voltage and it would jump back up to like 14.5 after the battery wouldn't start the car. So that kind of indicates the battery is faulty. Now, these EFB batteries, EFB Plus, I have read mixed reviews online. So today what I'm going to do, I'm going to chuck that one out. It's not like the old days where you just unbolt a battery and bolt it back in. This has got to be all reprogrammed and all that stuff. So I'm going to show you the whole process on what I'm taking in order to do the battery swap, and hopefully this will be the end of my problems. But Skoda, I don't trust you at all, because I would take it to a main dealer, yeah, but I just get fobbed off and ripped off every time I go there. So I refuse to use any local dealers nearby. So let's do this ourselves and see what happens, people. Yeah. All right, let's go. Here is the battery. Now we'll disconnect the negative first, then the positive. And then down here, the battery tray bolt, that needs to come out. That's a 13mm. And then I believe this is a 10mm. This is like the battery strap. So we'll take all this out. Hopefully I don't have to move the airbox. There goes the negative. Unplug that as well, just so you can get this out of the way. Unbolt this as well, just to make it a bit easier to lift out. Don't drop any bolts, he says. Right, so that's the leads out. We'll take the battery strap off now. To make my life easier, I'm going to take the airbox out. Now there's only a few rubber bungs. It literally just pulls off once you remove the intake hose, so let's do that. Going to disconnect the sensor like that. It slides out. Right, that's the airbox out. We can get to this properly. Right, the bolt's out. Let's pull this out. A bit of strength. Oh. Okay, so here's the old one, which is an EFB Plus, and this is a AGM. This is 70 amp hour, just like the original. But the difference is this is an absorbent glass mat as opposed to the EFB Plus, which apparently these can be more durable. So yeah, swap the cover over. Oh, this is where you need some strength. That weighs a lot, that. Just make sure that this bracket is covering over the battery, because you don't want that to lift off when driving, you know. Put the bolt back in. Now I'm going to chuck the air filter back in, making sure all the bungs line up nice. Plug this back in, tighten that back up, making sure the arrows here and here meet. Can't believe I'm having to take the airbox out just to change a bloody battery. Right, that's good. Now put the positive back on first, then the negative. Make sure they're all nice and tight. Cover back on the battery, Just like that. This, I don't know where that goes. I'm going to have to probably just tie it up somewhere shortly. Don't forget, cover your old terminals with these because you don't want them shorting out, even if it is flat. Okay, so I've just jumped in the car. There's no lights on yet. Let's see what happens when we press the ignition. Error. I think this is completely normal, by the way. Yeah, we're going to get a load of errors coming up. So this is where we're going to plug in the OBD11 now. Okay, so this is my OBD11. I've got the Pro Pack here, but I do need to renew my subscription because I haven't used it since doing the top 10 adaptations that I've done in one of my other videos. So let's plug this in just under here. Bang, that's on. So make sure the ignition is on. I've opened the OBD11 app. Let's select the device. 11.9 volt battery. I don't want to switch apps just yet. Reading control units. Right, we're doing a scan. I'm going to press this button here. I've got the Pro subscription, which is needed, unfortunately, to do this. If you want to put like the serial number and stuff in. Then if we go to adaptation, search battery, adaptation, then it's a 70 amp hour, that's fine. Manufacturer, I need to put Lion, I think it's a Lion one. Battery serial number. Now, there's no serial number on my battery, so if we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then click done. Don't forget, if you've got an actual serial number on your battery, mine didn't, make sure you enter that. Battery technology, change that to AGM, because that's what it is. You'll put your type in, and then slide to right. What's happened there? Writing, unlocking, adaptations accepted. Right, that's good. So now you want to power cycle the car for about 30 to 60 seconds. So just turn the ignition off, lock the car, walk away, and then come back in, and then it should all be good. Right, so I've given it a few minutes. Let's just start it. ECS, let's do the steering to one side then to the other, and then if we set the tyre pressures as well, right, just do set tyre pressure. Oh, come on, it's good. Tyre pressure's saved, and look, now all of the lights are clear, so we're all good. Right, here's a good indicator to know that your car's doing the correct thing. If you put heated seats on, let's put both on, you'll see that voltage is jumping up on the charging voltage, so that's really good. That's a good indicator that the alternator is actually doing its thing, and it was the battery that's faulty. And then if we heat the rear window, it may or may not make a difference, but you can see there 14.2 volts. I'm happy now that this has solved the problem. Now, I don't think I'll get any more issues with the battery. I think it's just the brand of that battery, or the type of that battery, doesn't sit right with these cars. That's my personal opinion. Look, now I've turned all the heated seats off, it's dropped back down. Right, so that is the new battery in. It's programmed and coded and all done correctly. The only thing is I had to pay £70 for a Pro subscription on the OBD11 just so I could edit the serial number, battery type and all of that stuff. You can buy credits, but it doesn't let you edit the serial number, which basically tells the car it's a new battery. So that would have cost you 24 quid anyway in credits. I worked it out, so I've paid 70 quid. Good thing is I can change anything else I want to in the car through the adaptations now without having to pay for it through long coding. Anyway, that's that. We know the car is doing its thing. The voltage jumps up to 14 volts when I put load on it by putting the heated seats on and the heated rear window. That suggests to me that the alternator is fine, which is great. The money that I've paid for that battery is 157 quid. I mean, we can, but we can't really write off the subscription cost for 70 quid because it's there. It's not really part of the battery, but it is. So it's cost me a good couple hundred quid. But if I would have gone to Halfords or Skoda, I would have paid a lot more anyway. So the least you guys could do today is give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, just so when the video gets more views, the ad revenue builds up and I can recoup that 70 quid on the Pro subscription to show you guys how it's done. But all jokes aside, I'm not too fussed. But yeah, that's good. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. If you've got any questions, please leave them below in the comments and I'll see you all again soon for the next one. Bye for now.